Okay. It is possible to include President Erdogan in a solution for a Syrian crisis. What is the role of Turkey in this crisis?
As a principle, if he's willing to get away from his criminal attitude that he's been adopting since the beginning of the crisis by supporting the terrorists in every way, we don't have problem. We don't have problem. At the end, we will be ready to welcome any help or positive participation from anyone. That's in principle. So whoever been complicit against Syria, we don't have problem with. But do we expect Erdogan to change? No, for one reason, because Erdogan is a Muslim Brotherhood ideological person. So he cannot go against his ideology. He's not a pragmatic man who thinks about the interests of his country. He's working against the interests of his country for the sake of his ideology, whether it's realistic or not. So we don't expect Erdogan to change in that way.
In relation with Turkey again, what do you think about the downing the Russian aircraft by Turkey? Was in an accident or was a premeditated?
Since the Russian military participation in Syria regarding fighting the terrorist organizations, the situation on the ground has changed in a positive way. And for Erdogan, that would bring his ambitions to failure. And if Erdogan failed in Syria as he looked at it, that would be his political demise. It's like sounding the death knell of his political future, his ambitions to make Turkey the hub of the brotherhood in the region by having brotherhood government and having following or satellite brotherhood governments around the world. He thinks the last bastion of his dream is Syria. If he failed in Syria, as he failed in Egypt, as he failed in Libya and other places, he would think that this is the end of his career. So his reaction was unwise reaction, but reflected not his way of thinking, but actually his instinct, his visceral instinct toward the Russian. This is the first part of the shooting. The second one, he thought the NATO would help him and who would bring the NATO to conflict with Russia, and the result would be more complicated situation in Syria on the ground, and maybe his dream of having a no-fly zone where he can send those terrorists to Syria, and they can use them as another state in front of the legitimate state in Syria. That was his ambition and his way of thinking as we think in Syria.